2020. It feels good to say that finally. First upload of 2020. Better late than never, right? Howdy, my name is Evie Driver from the writerandwife.com. I talk all things writer and wife life here on my channel, so if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing before you head out. So today's video leans heavily on the wife life side of my new direction of this channel. So I think it's still very prominent in the AuthorTube space because a lot of us it's a given that we have to have a side hustle until we make money off our book. If you have a computer, if you have the internet, you might be surprised how easy it could be to make money if you choose the right company or you choose the right websites or the right career field for you and your expertise. This is also a collab, and I'm collabing with the very dear Savy Writes Books here on YouTube. Savy is one of the greatest channels in our community because she truly loves the spirit of small business, like ownership, and she's a very great supporter in that. And she really kind of embodies everything that I truly appreciate about AuthorTube. We have a lot of, weird examples of entrepreneurship here, but I feel like as a whole, we really embody and embrace the entrepreneurship and side hustle culture, I guess. So before I begin, here is Savy.
Hello to everyone on Evie's channel. My name is Savy. I am an author-tuber from the YouTube channel Savy Writes Books. I also do a lot of anti-MLM videos because my videos like to kind of focus on the business aspects of getting your book out into the world because I myself am a small business owner. There are so many people out there who are doing scammy stuff, trying to get people who, have big dreams and scamming them out of their money, and multi-level marketing companies are some of the worst culprits of this. So today I am really excited to be collabing with Evie on this video about 5 better ways to spend your money rather than on an MLM starter kit. If you want to see my 5 ways that are better to spend your money, please go ahead and take a look at my channel Savy Writes Books, which is linked in the description below. I will have my 5 items on that channel and you can check out my video there. Thank you so much for having me on your channel, Evie, and I am really excited about this.
So that's where I'm coming from when I present this list. It makes me feel a certain way, and it's not positive and it's not supportive of women. And if you look at the statistics, these companies really don't pay anybody. Usually they charge anywhere from like $50 to like $250 whenever you become a consultant. So here are my ideas on the 5 other ways that you can spend that theoretical money other than starting an MLM business. So you can become a virtual assistant. It sounds super hard. It's not. So authors actually have tons and tons and tons of these going around. You can probably even like post in one of the larger Facebook groups for writers. You can say, hey, I want to become a virtual assistant. Here are my strengths. So I'm really good at social media. I can send emails really well. I can work with these programs. Who needs help? This is my rates, or maybe I can give you a free hour just to see that, just to show you how I work and if we would be a good fit, all that stuff. So with permission, you can, write in one of these Facebook groups. I've seen it enough, and maybe one of these authors will need help once a week, like just answering emails or sending out their newsletter, all of that stuff. And that's what a virtual assistant is for. You use your strengths and you outsource them for other people. And those people they pay you for a service and you provide them for doing stuff that you already know how to do. So virtual assistants, you can either go through a couple of different websites, or if you want to go like cold message people like on Instagram, or if you know an author, you really love them, you can be like, hey, here's like a free 2-hour, or 2-task intro offer to see if we would be a good fit. I've seen that happen too. Usually I've seen people get paid anywhere from $15 to $25 for this. The next idea is becoming a resume writer. This is my day job. So I basically am in charge of formatting, tailoring, anything to do with the resume. I'm like a pro at this. I probably should consider doing this myself because Resume writers, they can average anywhere between $300 to $1,000 per resume, depending on your level of skill. It's it's pretty serious money if you know how to write a good resume and it's worked for you in past. Like I said, this is my day job. I do it for an actual company, so it's like an internal resume type of thing. But if you're not good at resume writing, another alternative to that is becoming a copywriter. There are several ways that you can do both. You can take a course on how to become a copywriter. There's several that are, you know, under $100, $150. And then as you build up a clientele or build up a portfolio, you can switch from a free website service like Wix or Weebly or something like that to, or even WordPress.com or .org, whatever one is the free platform. You can switch over from a free domain service to your premium domain service as you build up your clientele. You do need a website. I'm sorry, but you do as one of these. Maybe not as a virtual assistant. Virtual assistant would probably just need a social following of some kind. So that way somebody could like reach out to you or anything like that. But maybe a landing page would be nice. So maybe even if you have a free website, you can have like a place for testimonials. This one is where the money starts to kind of be required. Again, as a virtual assistant, you really aren't required to have a website, but it's always good to have a place to call your own online. You can become a copywriter if you are specializing for content writing. You can write scripts on YouTube. You can do anything pretty much that, like write blog posts, help people build their own websites. So pretty much the sky's the limit for copywriters. You can make a lot of money doing it. Also, if you don't know how to do it, there's a couple of courses. I can't remember where I've seen them, but if you Google or ask around or like on one of the Facebook groups or something, I've actually seen so many like free courses on copywriting, so you can get started. Or you can do the old school way and go to the library and read free books and get started that way, and then just lower your prices until your you know, experience level can accommodate the industry a little bit better. Number 8 is something that I think my husband should do, but he just never gets around to doing it. He would be so good. But that is become a voiceover artist. For this, you have to physically buy a microphone. $50 gets you a really great quality, entry-level, budget-friendly Blue Yeti microphones. $50 with tax, so it'll be a little bit different everywhere, but it retails, I think, for $49. Voiceover artists typically make anywhere from $50 for a 30-second commercial to thousands of dollars if you decide to make audiobooks for a living. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Sure, it's a lot of work. You're gonna need an editing software. There's Adobe Audition, but then there's Audacity, which is completely free. So you can start with just a $50 entry-level mic, and you can actually create a studio out of your own closet and just record all of your clips in your closet surrounded by your clothes, and you have a professional enough setup. It sounds really great. YouTube that if you don't believe me that that's actually a way you can do that. There's several videos on how to make your closet a recording studio or a recording space. And that's the thing about YouTube. You can even learn how to write resumes or how to basically write copy, or like what copy is and all of that stuff. There's a lot of free information, so don't forget that either. The next one kind of plays in with the virtual assistant, but whenever I say virtual assistant, I kind of overall become a virtual assistant and tailor your services to the sites and the services and the skills that you already have. Whereas this one, become a social media manager, is completely different because all you do is just social media. So for this one, you can actually probably start by going door to door. Local businesses, small businesses. If you're like me and you live in an older town, a smaller town, maybe you have an antique shop that really wants to get online and they don't know how. Maybe for, you know, 50 bucks a week, $25 a week, you'll spend like an hour or two just kind of making graphics for them or posting social media stuff, or maybe they can pay you for posts. So you gather the content and you like draft up all the stuff and you send it to them and they can post it. This is so open, it's insane. But I've seen it go a number of ways. social media managers or consultants or whatever typically can make the same amount of money as virtual assistants. People can set their own prices and all that stuff, and depending on how, like, where you're comfortable with charging, if you have a huge platform, that is something that you should absolutely tailor to your credentials. You should plaster it and, you know, highlight it and underline it like 4 times, because you already know how to do social media. If you have like 5K on Instagram and 10K on Twitter, and you have a YouTube channel with over 15,000 subscribers, like, you know how to do, you're doing something right. Like, thousands of people flock to you on a lot of different platforms, you're doing something right. So maybe that can add on to like your premium or something. But if you're just trying to get into the business, maybe just ask like, hey, do you need any help on that? Like, or even if they have like 15 to 100,000, maybe they don't have a marketing person behind their social media, maybe they need some help. So it's a couple hours later. My camera battery was up just yelling at me, so I had to let it charge for a few hours, and I went to this cool little bookstore. It's called Kinokuniya. Kinokuniya. There we go. If I say it slow, I can say it. This is like a surprise haul, so I'm so sorry if you thought that this was gonna be just a tips video. Reading is dreaming with open eyes. I love that. Love it. I'm reading a lot lately, so I need like an actual bookmark. Then I got citrine for my crystal collection that I have going on back here. I'm in my meditation space, my sacred space, like whatever you want to call it. Then I got this pen. I actually already own one of these, but I take lots of notes when I read nonfiction books, so I am literally almost out. It's just really pretty. It's my favorite pen at the moment. Getting back to the tips. It's what y'all came here for. The last one might actually clash a little bit with one of Savy's points, but it's to turn a talent, skill, or a hobby into a business practice or business side hustle. So if you love dogs and you love being around dogs, maybe you'd want to start a dog walking side hustle. I know a lot of people who own lawn equipment. They love being outside, especially here in Texas. It's an acquired skill because it's hot. It gets hot as hell here. So maybe if you already have the equipment, you won't really even have to invest anything. However, if you really like being outside, or you're younger and you're just looking for like maybe summer, spring income through fall, lawn mowing can be tons of money here in the South because it's hot. And I paid for a very long time. I paid somebody to come and do my house. Depending on where you're at, you could be a godsend for people like me who either don't own lawn equipment or just have no desire of spending an hour outside in the blistering heat. You can encompass all of that into your fees and your rate, and what might take you less than an hour, you can get $40 to $50 depending on what you're charging. Or if you have a love of tutoring and you're qualified to tutor others, or if you have a qualification of some kind, you can either become an after-school teacher and work as a substitute teacher on the side during the week if you have availability to do so, or you can actually just become an online tutor. Some of them, if not most of them, require a 4-year degree, which if you already have one, there you go. You know, you can just apply and hopefully you'd get selected. But for those of you who don't have that 4-year degree, another option is to do just freelance tutoring and post stuff on Facebook Marketplace. You can post it up on Craigslist. If you teach the violin and you're really skilled at that, that can be really great side income, especially if you do like have consistent clients and lessons and stuff like that. The point is that if you have a love of the outdoors, there's something for you. If you love animals, there's something for you. If you love, you know, the business side of things and you love managing and you love that, there's a side hustle for you. If you have a hobby, 9 times out of 10, you can turn that hobby or translate it into a side income. Making a YouTube channel is kind of, I was gonna put it on the list, but unless you have a very niche thing that a lot of people really want, like a how to sew or cross stitch, you know, XYZ or something like that, and there's no videos on it, and you're going to attack that niche as the first one, and then your channel could explode because you're the only person making videos on that topic. Nowadays it's a little harder to do that because of so many people being on YouTube, but nonetheless, if your talent really doesn't translate well to being a side hustle, or it's not really a product, more as a service, but it's something that you just want to teach people to do, and it's not really something you can teach after school, you know, maybe you can start a channel and teach people how to weld or how to do something, like, I don't know, you got to be creative, but these are just ideas for you that you're gonna lay the groundwork for whatever it is that you would like to do as a side income. The world is your oyster. A lot of people, me included, I got so caught up in what everyone else is doing, and the point is that MLMs, you will not be happy. Every person that I know who's ever been in an MLM has either quit because it doesn't make enough money, and the statistics speak for themselves. I will leave a link down in the description that kind of goes over some of the statistics and income statements that you know, are from a couple of different MLMs. Almost all of the MLMs that I have researched, I see a lot of people every single day joining these MLMs, and it's just a little frustrating because you're not going to make money. The statistics speak for themselves. You might be against the statistic, or you might be an anomaly, but that's not guaranteed. All of these ideas usually are guaranteed as long as you can find people who need your service or need your product. There's guaranteed money. All you have to do is, before you provide any service, before you provide any kind of help, make sure that the money is in your account, unless you choose to be a freelance like social media or virtual assistant. Maybe you would want to give like a free complimentary hour or one task for free to just let people kind of know your work style and get to know you just a little bit before they pay you for the full hour or something like that. You deserve to be paid, and that's the point of making this video. In addition to not only critiquing MLMs in general, but I really wanted to open people's eyes with Savvy about how, not easy, because everything is going to take a little bit of work. You're going to need to work to find clients or customers of some sort, right? There's a little bit of work, but either way, once you put in the work to research the niche and research the market and stuff, and you maybe find one or two people, now you can breathe a sigh of relief, because now you can probably get those people to send you a testimonial or a review, and maybe they can even refer you to people. So every time you do a service, you're just broadening your branch, whereas MLMs are usually very sketchy. They tell you these preposterous claims. They tell you all of these beautiful things that I desperately want to be true, but they're just not. I feel like all of these people mean well until they get far enough, and then the more and more people that they bring into these companies, it's just so easy to get seduced by this lifestyle. So yeah, I might make more of these videos. My intent is not to assassinate anybody. I hate to use the word offend, because I feel like everybody gets offended for everything, but I'm not coming for you personally. It's kind of your life, you know, do what you want, but at least make an informed decision. So I hope that this video and this collab with Savvy was able to kind of provide a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking before you make any kind of mistake, regardless if you don't agree with me or if you do. So with that, I really appreciate you for hanging out with me and taking the time. As always, that you would watch and spend your time with me means the whole world. So I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much I mean that. I'm going to be returning, hopefully posting every single week. I can't promise every single week because I'm on this whole like self-care, but it's whole complicated. Obviously a lot of stuff for me has changed, especially because of this background. So if y'all are curious, or if y'all have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you would like my birthing genesis story of my anti-MLM journey, if you will, let me know and I shall upload that. I'm doing like really weird stuff. I will upload that, maybe not the next video, because I have a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about other than anti-MLM. So, but thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful collab, Savvy. I love your channel. Please go subscribe to her. She makes some of the most entertaining videos on this whole platform. I love her. I'm really sad that it's not in the budget this month, but she has some new merch that my eye is on it, and I just, if money comes to me just randomly this month, I swear I'm gonna buy. She has this really cute shirt that says "We Stand Pam," and if you are a viewer of her, you should know where that comes from. So if you don't know what that means, just goes to show that you need to subscribe. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. You can follow me on social media. The links are here somewhere on the screen and down below. So I really appreciate it. Okay, bye.